You have been in the middle of this turmoil for, more than a year, probably even longer than this, regarding the Caddo Parish employee retirement system.
Right.
We stirred a pot yesterday, and I know we've done this before, but yesterday kind of stirred it up pretty good. Got a call yesterday afternoon from Caddo Commissioner David Cox, who said, and I'm trying to quote here, that you said he stole money, or he admitted, you stole money fair and square was your quote.
Right. That's not my original quote. That's the old way of putting it.
Okay.
Why are y'all complaining? We stole it fair and square.
Okay. Let me let you hear David's response to your comments, because then I know you want to hear it first and then react.
Yes.
So here is David Cox on your comments.
Well, I'm a good old country boy, and I've been raised to protect your name when somebody like Elliott says something like that. I have never said that, and if he's got it on tape, I'd like to hear it. If he's got somebody telling him that I said that, I'd like to talk to them, because that is BS.
Okay, Elliott, your response to Mr. Cox.
Well, I'm not even sure exactly what he's saying, but let's be sure the audience understands what's going on here to the extent that we can. The brand new legislative auditor's report, and Aaron, that means this subject, as we talked about yesterday, is a state of Louisiana subject.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a Caddo Parish subject. The Caddo Parish commissioners got caught with their pants down, taking a whole lot of taxpayer money that they know they should never have been taking. The CEPR's money goes back to 2000. Other amounts they have taken that are illegal under the Home Rule Charter go back even further than that. The legislative auditor says that David Cox has gotten $26,820.93 in taxpayer money for a totally and inarguably unconstitutional and illegal retirement system we call CEPRs. Now, to make that a little more dramatic, here are a couple of other things that the auditor says in his brand new report, which is pretty comprehensive. And yes, I've been working on this since 2013 and first found out about commission impropriety in 2010. So we've used a ton of public records requests, have a stack of documents a foot high that prove everything I'm saying. And remember, they're mad at the auditor.
Mm-hmm.
They're not mad at me. I'm just available.
We asked David, give the money back. Why don't you give the money back? And he said, oh, we can't. It's locked up. And I kind of called BS on that when he was talking to us.
Well, here are a couple of quotes from the report. Caddo Parish should, A, comply with Louisiana Constitution, Article 10, Section 29.1, and cease contributing additional public monies into the CEPR's account of participating commissioners, and B, consult with legal counsel on options to remedy and recoup the improper contributions paid to the retirement accounts of commissioners. And then here's another one. Regardless of how a plan works or is defined, the Louisiana legislative auditor maintains that the Constitution provides that these public officials cannot be a member of a state of Louisiana or any political subdivision-sponsored retirement plan that contributes public funds to their retirement. Now, if Mr. Cox is saying, gee, I took almost $30,000 just in these categories now. Let's remember, Aaron, there's a bunch more categories.
Travel,
any salary
and
above
yeah.
$1,200 a month, they're now paying themselves $1,875, $15,000 a year in a travel allowance, health insurance, life insurance, automobile mileage. All of these are specifically, explicitly prohibited by language in either the state constitution or the parish home rule charter, and third graders can read that language. Now, Mr. Cox wants us to believe, and Matthew Lynn, who is the commissioner who's really running everything that we're discussing here. We got to get that straight.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Lynch is running the litigation, we've learned. She's not even on the commission anymore. Matthew Lynn is running everybody else, while he says, by the way, that he got out of CEPRs, a bold-faced lie. He knows it. He knows none of them got out of CEPRs, or the audit report would not have been written.
Is money still going to CEPRs for each of them?
Yes.
And what do we have to do to stop it?
That look, here's what I'm doing, and I want to be sure everybody knows something. This is pure government watchdog business. That means I don't get a penny from anybody. I'm doing this for the people of Caddo Parish.
Why?
And Louisiana.
What's in it for Elliott?
Nothing. Except I know and have spent, and you know this, Aaron, I've spent a lifetime here learning how these people do this stuff. I know exactly how to find out what they're doing, how to prove what they're doing. I have seen what these people do behind the curtain, and they are killing this city and parish. We have systemic corruption eating us alive. And David Cox is on the radio this morning or yesterday
Today.
chewing on me because what I did was call BS on him. Aaron, look, this is fixing to get very, very, very serious. Everything we've discussed up until pretty much now has been about civil law. The lawsuit I filed, because the one the commissioners filed, supposedly to straighten this out, Judge Pittman tossed out almost summarily. He couldn't even believe they filed it. The only person who stepped up to do this work, filed the suit, was me and Whitney Pesnell, who is my pro bono attorney. We're the only two. Look at what the commissioners are doing to us. Look at what the man on yesterday morning has agreed to do to me on their behalf. We should all be up in arms. It's the old thing about man the pitchforks. We need to chase some people out of some public offices here. And I got to tell you something. There's a man that used to be mayor of Jonesboro, Louisiana, who is now in prison for doing the very same thing that we're discussing these commissioners doing.
Mr. Cox said something to us. He said, if Elliott's gone after the school board, the city council, the parish commission, why doesn't Elliott just run for office if he can do such I'm paraphrasing what David said. How do you respond when they bring that up?
I'm of absolutely no value to anybody in this parish sitting on any corrupt public body. I will sit there and spend every minute I'm there looking at David Cox and saying, Mr. Cox, you and I know you took $26,000 just in CEPR's money. Will you now tell me that today we're going to give that money back to the taxpayers? What good would I do there? I'm the reason that we can at least get the legislative auditor, I think it'll soon be other federal authorities, in Caddo Parish to clean this stuff up. My value is knowing who David Cox is knowing who Matthew Lynn is, and here's who they are. They despise those of us they took an oath to serve. They run for office to make money. And Aaron, let me give you the statistics so everybody can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
A Caddo Parish commissioner right now who takes the full $15,000 in travel and everything else they have given themselves illegally, they can make up to $43,000 a year. They're not supposed to make a penny over $1,200, but they can make $43,000 if they hit us for everything they can take. He took offense to the word steal, okay? Take, knowingly and deliberately take for themselves. Here's the point. The average Caddo person takes in, earns, puts in their bank $24,000 a year. Those people work their entire day to get $24,000 a year. These people work 10 to 12 hours a week, and they can haul down $43,000.
Wow.
And then they want to preach to me or make me the subject. Look, David Cox needs to call the legislative auditor. His name is Darryl Perpera.
Running up against the clock
Okay,
here.
he needs to call Darryl and tell him the stuff that he said about me, because it's Darryl he's mad at.
Yep. Elliott Stonecipher, I'm sure we will chat again. I thank you for your candor and always willingness to tell us the truth.
Thank you, Aaron.